What's up, people? It's your boy Jatwa. I'm here today in Kerbal Space Program, and we're actually going to be using a craft that I built a while back. But what you're going to see here is something a little different. What I wanted to try was utilizing some of the different parts as wheels and trying to use some things that I normally would not use. For instance, these linear RCS ports actually have the impact tolerance of 50 meters per second impact, which is pretty good because with this craft I can get down, my stall speed is much lower than 50, so that should make for a very smooth touch and go landing, as long as I don't do anything stupid. So let's take a look at some other parts. You know, you have this place anywhere part, which is this here. This is the linear RCS port. Let's move ourselves. Can I move myself over so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about? Oh god, I need to fix this so bad. There we go. Now I can relock it. Okay. So you can see over here we have this Place Anywhere 7 linear RCS port, which is really nice. And you know, it's really light. You're talking 0.03, and which makes it almost one of the lightest parts in here, with this one being the cubic octagonal strut coming in at the extremely minimal 0.001. And so it is very light, but it will blow up if you try to land with it. It's very delicate because it's so light. Then you have some other parts. This one actually is really resistant. This is the I-beam, the 650 I-beam, and it has the impact of 80 meters per second, which is really nice as well. But the catch is it weighs in a bit heavier, and it does have a bit of a drag profile to it. So this is the same thing with all these I-beams you'll see and these structural panels. 80, but at the same time has a lot of drag. These are significantly heavier than what we're using. This one is 0.75. This is 0.3. This is 0.375. This one right here, 0.1875. So we're actually clocking in at a lower weight, but the weight is 0.03. Very nice if it doesn't have a lot of drag. So we'll see how that works. This one, the modular girder, once again 80 meters per second, but 0.125. So it looks like the closest we would get would be the 1x1 structural panel, which isn't too bad. But the problem is it has a lot of drag to it. It is my old staple I used to go with, but it is not as good. Now, if you are using the expansion parts, you do have the structural panels, which are pretty nice, but these have a lot of connection points. It would seem to affect the craft in various ways, and they are a pain in the ass to build with. They are really nice, though. I have not used this one quite yet, and I do want to try that. So kind of we're going to bobble between seeing what is better. Which one's going to have less drag? Which one is going to function better as a replacement for wheels? And why would you do that? Because, you know, why not? Let's check this out. This is what we're going to try to lift off with, and hopefully this will work, and we're going to see how much this is going to be in comparison. So right now we are coming in at the delta V of 54,163, and our mass is currently 13,446, TWR of 1.82. So let's see what it does. I'm just going to blurt out the numbers as we come across them. So we are definitely going to see at the end which one works better. Let's fly. Okay, so we are landed on the runway, and we're gonna immediately go here because I want to bring out the flight info. And we're actually going to go to physics. We're going to go to aero. I'm sorry, drag. We wanted to apply drag, but we want to take a look if I can remember where it's at, and we actually want to be able to see the aero data. So we're going to use that there, and display action data GUI. That's cool, we can bring that out already. And display aero in flight. So we're going to do that as well. Drag, and we're going to leave all this. That should all be fine. And we don't really care about the thermals this time around. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and pin these out so you can see how each one is being affected with the drag. Well, I guess we don't quite need all of them. We're just going to use one in the front and one in the back, so we can see how it's really affecting us. Alright, so that side's the front, this side is the back. Let's see what happens when we decide to do this. SAS is active. Engines are hot. Going full throttle. We come skidding forward. It's going to bounce us upwards, and that's kind of what we're going for. This aircraft is okay with most liftoffs, except for that right there. Don't know what happened there. Getting up to our speed where things are going to go boom, and we need to get off the ground. Okay, so that didn't work. We're going to try to stay near the center here and see if this helps us out. No! It immediately shreds our craft. So with a bit of lift going on here, with a bit of lift in the front here, hopefully this will work. Hopefully it won't explode this time, because reasons. Let's try this. So what we need immediately now is to get ourselves up. Up. Did not happen. The wings, they made it. It's beautiful. Because it does not want to lift off like this. Now, the crazy part is, I actually have flown this. I don't know what's going on with this right now, but okay. Uh-oh. Not the light. Oh my god! Are you serious? Did that really just work? Did that just work? Oh my god! Did that just really work? Oh my god! Wow! So let's take out the drag on these. That was really a pain. I have not seen that happen before. And I don't know what changed between when I flew it before and when I flew it now, but that is very odd. Alright, so let's take a look at our 3 linear RCS point locations that are really going to be of question to me. So as you can see here, we're actually going quite a bit faster than I have this craft going before. I wonder if it's because the wheels are not on here and it's not affecting our aircraft, because look at this, these aren't causing that much. I mean, it's causing drag. We have 0.51, 0.64 and 0.6. 0.6 in the middle, and it's actually going down, 0.63 in the rear, and 0.49 in the front. So we do have drag happening, and we have this really weird profile going on behind our craft, as you can see here. So what's our overall drag? Lift to drag ratio is 0.75. We'll give it that. And we have a nice, weird, strange fin tail in the back there. That's kind of odd. I would not have expected to see that. How fast are we going? We're at Mach 1.05. So let's go ahead. Oh, whoa! That's some hellacious G's. And we're going to try to go back and land back on the place that apparently hates us. Back on the runway. So let's see what happens. Let's get down low and let's boogie down. So yeah, that's some really strange things that I just was not prepared for at all. I wasn't really thinking that would happen. The wiggle, I don't know what's going on with the spinning, but it's very odd but it happens, I guess. You're using parts that aren't really meant to interact in that fashion. So what would you expect besides some really strange oddities? And we are just cruising right now. This craft is actually really mega stable. This is actually one of my favorite aircraft I had made. It's really simple. It's really simple. But it is actually very, very useful. Think of it like the F-15. It's a very nice, simple craft, but it holds up to the test of time. Alright, so we're going to come back here. Kick ourselves over. And now we're going to reverse thrust using Action Group 2. And now we need to slow ourselves down dramatically. Air brakes active. And here's where it's going to get a little scary, because we need to land on here somehow. So air brakes are up. Air brakes are down. We're almost at our stall speed. We need to be careful. So let's get here. Let's angle ourselves up a bit. Alright. And we're going to gently touch ourselves down using a little bit of brake, a little bit of engine. Slow ourselves down under 50. And there it goes. Gentle touchdown, a little bit of spinning, and successful landing. Well, I wouldn't have guessed that would have worked. That was really crazy, but it lands. Nothing exploded this time. Fantastic, a little quirky liftoff, but it works, and it works decently. So, next thing to try is to try the actual structural parts and see how that differs. Alright, so what I like about these right off the back is that it gives me a bit more lift without having to do anything really wonky. I don't have to do anything really strange, like stack one on top of the other to get up to get my lift. I can just come here and do like that. And we're going to go like this for these. And then rotate them a little bit more. That's going to give me that. And we're going to go do the same thing here. So it's not really just dragging itself across the ground. It's kind of just scraping itself across the ground. Which makes everything a little bit better. Alright, so what that gives us is the Delta V is 55,803, 13,146 for the mass, and our TWR of 1.86, and vastly fewer parts. Let's see how it performs though. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is that these are going to scrape, and they're not going to explode, but I'm thinking they're going to give us a lot more drag, and it's going to affect the profile of our craft a lot. That's what I'm worried about. Let's get that from behind my face. Okay. Let's see what happens. Ooh, very wobbly, very wobbly. So we get a bit faster speeds out of these. And lift off the first time, no problem. Let's turn on our aerodynamic overlay, and you see drag, drag, a lot of drag, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.8, a lot of drag. How's it going to affect our top speed? Let's see if we peak over Mach. And we are squeezing by Mach 1.02. Can we get 1.5? 1.05. 1.05 is what we're shooting for to see if it affected us any. We may have. We are going to barely get it. We still have our fin tail. 1.04. 1.05. There we go. We're kind of in a dive, but hey, it counts. It counts. So we'll go 1.04 in a non-dive. So let's rip it back around and let's see what happens. So once again, what we need to do is we need to line ourselves up, and we need to then get ourselves lined up on the runway and gently coming down, hopefully to a smooth touch landing without anything exploding, and see what happens. And then we can try an I-beam and show you why we should not use an I-beam. I-beams are bad. Alright, we're going to come in really fast for this one because I have confidence in these parts. These have a lot higher impact resistance, so with as little that I lose on this, I think that I would be inclined to use these structural panels. Even though the R06 was my hopeful, I am currently opposed to using it with the problems that I saw. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and reverse thrust. I did it early this time, so I have plenty of room. Going brakes hot. Alright. Killing that, killing that. Coming down nice and gentle. Letting our descent pick us up to a little bit of speed. Lift up a bit. Nice and gentle landing. Ooh, and the benefit is we don't spin around like crazy like we did with the RCS ports. We actually have some control over this. And we come to a pinpoint landing on the runway, which is actually beautiful. I would have not have guessed. That actually performed, to me, better. I may be a convert. I actually like that as wheels. I mean, it's very sturdy. I don't have a lot of suspension, but as long as I don't turn on the auto struts, it has its own pseudo suspension where it's just kind of taking the shock of it for me and still maintains 80 meters per second impact when I hit the ground. So that is pretty sweet. I will take that. I will take that. So let's try the I-beam. Now this is going to give us a lot of clearance, but it's also, in my predictions, which I can predict this because I've used such designs before, it does affect your craft, and I have a feeling like something's gonna break. I have a bad feeling. Things always tend to break like this. This is really good things for early on in your career mode, where you have unlocked certain things and the initial wheels are complete garbage. Since those first wheels you get are terrible, these are good replacements for them. So let's go ahead and bring out everything, show you what you're doing to yourself whenever you do this, and so you can hate yourself a little bit less, like, or more, I don't know, like I have done. So here's our traditional skid design. Scraping, I wish they had spark effects in here without a mod. Alright, we should be clear to lift off. So there you go. We are off the ground. Now, let's do the same thing. We'll keep ourselves nice and balanced, and we're going to race ourselves and see how fast we can get. Oh, these wheelie engines always get us to some fantastic speeds as long as we stay nice and low. I should have been counting how long it took me to get to Mach 1 as well. That would have been a really good rate. And let's take a look at all this. And look at that drag. That is the worst that you want to see. You don't want to see that type of drag. But it's okay. Our craft, I think, can make up for it. Even though we are struggling here at Mach 0.97. Because that additional weight, additional drag, is affecting our performance dramatically. Which is why you probably don't want to invest in putting I-beams as wheels on your craft. We may peak out at Mach 1. We may be able to do that in a dive. So let's see what we can get here. .98. Our horizontal speed is not even going up a little bit. It is not going up even a little bit. We're going up a little bit more now. I think we are capped out. We are maxed out at 0.98. And we're over to the island area. So let's loop back around, see what happens. Extra drag affecting the flight profile, leaning us, ripping us to the side a bit there. That was kind of ugly. But this is another reason why you probably want to use wheels. Wheels would be much better than I-beams, especially when you want to skim over the water. The second you touch the water with your I-beams, you're dead. You're dead. And we're going to skim over. We're not going to touch the water, we're just going to skim over top. I wish there was wakes in here. We could check out our wakes. A little too fast there, buddy. Alright, let's try it. Come on, come on, come on. Alright, here we go. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Alright. We're coming in nice and low. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was doing this one time and ran into a mountain. I saw my shadow and panicked. I will be completely honest. It's an awesome shadow, though. Alright. Reverse thrust. And you see our drag on these parts, it is extreme. We're talking 8s. Extreme drags on our parts here. Get ourselves lined back up on this runway. And just kind of glide ourselves on in. This aircraft is really good at gliding, so I'm not overly concerned. We're not quite at our stall speed just yet. So since we have these parts on here, we can actually come in at a faster speed and let it just kind of gently lower itself down and come to a nice, sturdy, steady landing. Fire up our engines full reverse thrust, and we have a controlled landing. So there you go. Now, which one would I prefer of the three? We have the RCS port, which spins you all to hell. You have the RO, I think it was that. No, the SO6 structural panel, which is just another structural panel, just smaller, lighter. And then there is the I-beams, which are drag maniacs. Which one would I prefer? I would go, believe it or not, with our second option. I would go with the structural panel because it's light, it's small, not a lot of drag, and we didn't lose that much performance using it, and we kind of cut back on the parts that we needed to have. So if you have the DLC, use those structural panels. They could be good landing pads, and they still get the 80 meters per second impact resistance that you get from the I-beams and other nice solid structural parts that you get from stock. So yeah, I guess I'm a convert. But for now, I'm gonna get on out of here. If you like what you see, hit that like button, drop me in a comment, let me know what you think. I hope to catch you guys in the next video. For now, it's your boy Jatwa, and I'm out. Peace. What I always say? Like, subscribe, share. Oh, it's so exhausting to do that. I can't really.